that was acoustic and Kwesi-ish, all the way from Ghana with some great Afro-soul music to kickstart the show, and who will join us later on with their newest single. Now, still ahead is Jim Watt, who turned his mess into a message. And then later on, of course, we'll be having Susumila, and then finally DJ Crowbar and his lovely wife Wanjiru Karumba. Now tweet us with the hashtag FriDATE so we can keep the conversation going. But for now, let's take a look at the highlights. Ministry of Health puts Busia and Kibra on the spot over increasing COVID-19 cases as the country reports 52 new COVID-19 cases, taking the total tally to 1,161. Senators vote to remove Tharaka-Nithi Senator Kithure Kindiki from the position of the Deputy Speaker as Jubilee Purge continues. Pakistani airplane crashes, killing at least 30 people on board. Plus, from West Africa, we host Ghanaian artist and an instrumentalist for some Afro-soul music. Good evening, my name is Lucy Riley and my sign language interpreter for the evening is Anne Wairimu. Now tonight, the Ministry of Health is raising concern over the increasing cases of COVID-19 in both Kibra and Busia County. The ministry hinting that tougher measures will be put in place if the transmission continues. Zablon Masharia reports.
2 months since Kenya reported its first COVID-19 case, the numbers are worrying. For the third day in a row, the country reported more than 50 cases in a single day, growing the numbers that continues to worry the health ministry.
There are areas that we are getting concerned about. For instance, the area of Kibera is beginning to be concerning. There's an additional 8 cases today in Kibera, and that is something worrying considering the population that is in Kibera, and further measures may need to be taken in that place.
The health CS Mutai Kagwe says every truck driver will be required to be tested 48 hours prior to the starting their journey. The tracking of the virus has seen growing numbers of positive cases amongst truck drivers.
The government of Busia County to become extra vigilant and extra careful because it is a border point. There are a lot of truck drivers in Busia, and you can see that the figures in that county are beginning to grow.
Of the 52 new cases, Nairobi recorded 23 cases, Mombasa and Busia have registered 7 cases each. 5 more people have recovered from the dreaded virus, taking the recovery toll to 380. The ministry has asked Kenyans to stop shunning hospitals for fear of contracting the virus. Kagwe says specific facilities across the country have been designated as COVID-19 treatment centers.
We have designated COVID-19 specific hospitals in all counties, while the remaining facilities will continue to provide healthcare services separately, and therefore people should have no fear whatsoever.
Mutai spoke this when he visited Machakos County in an attempt to ascertain the level of county preparedness in dealing with COVID-19. Zablon Masharia, TV47, Nairobi.
Elsewhere, a Pakistani passenger plane with nearly 100 people on board crashed in a residential area in the Pakistani city of Karachi, killing at least 37 people and wounding many others. Now, as the rescue mission continues, Lexi Kimani reports on the same story.
A Pakistani plane crashed into a residential area of Karachi on Friday, killing an unidentified number of people. Airbus A320 had 91 passengers and 7 crew members on board before crashing. Provincial health officials confirmed at least 37 fatalities, but a far higher death toll is feared as rescue mission is still ongoing. The airliner said that the pilot had reported technical issues, and witnesses say that the aircraft attempted to land 2 to 3 times at the Jinnah International Airport before hitting a mobile tower and fell down among houses, sending plumes of smoke into the air that could be seen from a distance. Imran Khan, the Pakistani Prime Minister, promised a full investigation into the crash, which came just days after the country resumed commercial domestic flights. The airline has not issued a statement about the incident, and as of now, the cause of the crash has not been established. The Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, is among the first leaders who have sent their condolences to Pakistani. Lexi Kimani, TV47.
Right, that's a very tragic story indeed, and deepest condolences, of course, to the families of the bereaved. Now, nurses who are members of the National Nurses Association of Kenya, NNAK, are demanding the resignation of Kenya National Union of Nurses Secretary General Seth Panyako. Now, the nurses are alleging that Panyako has defrauded the union and abused the office, among other claims. They want him to resign from office in the next 7 days. In an exclusive interview with the TV47, the Nurses Union Secretary General Seth Panyako has said that he will not engage with the nurses from NNAK, claiming that they should follow the constitutional procedure to remove him from office.
As nurses of this country, we have never held an election for the past 8 years of the existence of this union. What does that tell you? That the leaders at the top of the union leadership are in office illegally. As we speak, there is about 6 million total sum, Kenya shillings, that cannot be accounted for. And 2 of our senior nurse officials, rather KNUN officials, proceeded to court 3 days ago, and there is a suit, an active suit in an Eldoret court that has called on the court to put a stop to the accounts, rather to any transactions within the KNUN accounts, and it's actually effected, and there is an audit that is following after this.
We have been on the front line fighting for this union. And for the last 8 years, we have not moved forward.
And so we are going to go back to the members that we are. We are going to get back this union and own it, like we did the first time we handed it over to him.
Now, crossing over to Kiambu County, the county government of Kiambu has set aside 300 million shillings geared towards battling coronavirus, with 9,000 people already benefited from the kitty. Now, speaking Friday, Kiambu County Governor James Nyoro said the county government is also mobilizing resources worth 2 billion shillings from well-wishers to help in improvement of facility services and helping the needy.
We have allocated close to 300 million in response to COVID, including putting up the infrastructure that we'll be talking about in Tigoni. The beneficiaries of these donations are identified, as I said, by local communities themselves. And so far, we have been able to distribute food to close to 10,000 households. And we'll continue to add more as food becomes available. We have carried out a survey, very quantitative one, and we expect to be feeding about 27,000 households. We have a target of raising 2 billion shillings. And yes, we can.
All right, of course, do stay with us, because later on we've got with us Jim Watt and Susu Miller, who'll be joining us in this show, and that's really, really exciting. And of course, we want to cross over now to something that's a little bit more current. Now, the latest casualty of the purge in the ruling Jubilee Party is Tharaka Nithi Senator Githuri Kindiki, who has lost his seat as Deputy Senate Speaker after 54 senators voted in favor of a motion of impeachment. And as Elizabeth Mutuku reports, 7 senators voted against the motion that required at least 2/3 majority of 44 to sail through. Right now, sorry about that, I'll just repeat that. The latest casualty of the purge in the ruling Jubilee Party is Tharaka Nithi Senator Githuri Kindiki, who has lost his seat as Deputy Senate Speaker after 54 senators voted in favor of a motion of impeachment. And as Elizabeth Mutuku reports, 7 senators voted against the motion that required at least 2/3 of 44 to sail through. Here's more. Take a look.
it was an ouster in the making. The Senate, a house that changed its House Majority Leader and its Majority Whip 2 weeks ago, too knew this was coming.
But this is a motion, so I want to rule that we move to the motion.
The ruling party has indicated the purge will continue. To Kindiki, the fact that the special sitting of the Senate had only one agenda, his removal, was an indication how ready the excess were.
There is no impeachment. Senator Professor Kindiki Kithure is not under trial. This is simply a motion for removal.
And in what looked like a well-calculated move, Senate Majority Whip Irungu Kangata, who is barely 2 weeks old in his new role, moved a motion to remove the Deputy Speaker. The excess was sharpened. The ruling party says it has lost faith in the Deputy Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to move that this House, Senate, resolves that Senator Professor Kithure Kindiki be removed from the office of the Deputy Speaker of the Senate.
One after another, senators started to debate the motion, the glaring divide in the ruling party once again coming to life.
But I stand here today to say that some of us, whether we are 2 or 5 or 10, we shall continue to fight on, and we shall not allow the dictatorship that this country is quickly just becoming a dictatorship.
The political party is not the party leader. When you disagree with the party leader, you have not disagreed with your party. And that is a mistake of Kithure Kindiki.
Senator Kangata correctly. The decision we are taking tonight has no basis or will not be decided on the basis of substance, the truth, and the evidence. It's a political decision. Political decisions have consequences. And because political decisions have consequences, we won't go by them.
Senators from both divides praising Kithure Kindiki for the critical decisions he made while he served as the Deputy Speaker, either way naming party royalty as key.
This is a political process which has been initiated by his party Jubilee. All I have to say, Mr. Speaker, to my good friend Professor, is that we loved you, but Jubilee Party loved you more.
A lot of his friends are going to vote for this motion. A good number of your friends, and they'll still be your friends. It's not because of this that they are not your friends. In fact, some of the people who are going to vote for this motion are better friends than those who probably will try and show you that they support you.
The ex-deputy speaker says he was loyal to his party and blamed his words to members of the party who he says did not want him in the position.
I respect their choice to be petty, but they also to know that humility is not cowardice. Neither is silence a sign of ignorance.
54 senators voted in favor of a motion of impeachment, while 7 senators voted against the motion that required only 2/3 of majority to sail through. The ouster of Kindiki as Deputy Speaker already having been completed. Now all eyes are on Jubilee Party to see whether it keeps its promise in purging out all rebels in the committees and National Assembly. Elizabeth Mutuku, TV47, Parliament Buildings, Nairobi.
Thank you very much for that story, Liz Mutuku. Now it's time for me to take a short break, but when we come back, I've got on standby with me Jim Watt, and he's just a ball of energy. Yesterday was his birthday, and so we're really excited that he could join us. And we'll be having a ton of fun. Be sure to stay with us and don't touch that dial. Welcome back, and thank you so much for choosing to stay with me right here on TV 47 on FriDATE, which is my date with you. Of course, if you're just joining me right now, the hashtag is FriDATE, and tonight it's a cocktail of so many different things. I've got in standby right now Jim Watts, who is going to be joining me. But of course, you can reach out to me on social media. That's at TV47KE on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, as well as at Lucy_Riley on all the social media platforms. Jim Watts is joining me right now. How you doing? How have you been?
Yeah, I'm good.
Fantastic. Jim, you just turned 1 year older. You're literally 1 day older. How does that make you feel?
Yeah. Over 18.
Finally over 18, right?
Yeah.
All right. Before I even ask you about what you were thinking about that J Kumbini under 18, which was a hit back then.
Thank you, Shukra.
Karibu sana. Jim, what would younger Jim Watt tell older Jim Watt?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you've watched so many of your interviews, and now you've been able to see that was me then, and this is me right now. So what would younger you tell older you if you could meet those two people together?
The first thing I'd tell them is you should always listen to the guys who are older than you. You know, the wiser guys, from your folks to the peers that have mentored you and everything.
Right. Yeah.
And definitely I'd tell them, like, you do the right thing at the right time. Kama ni wakati wa kuwa shule, you prioritize shule. You know, like if you're in school, you prioritize books. When it's the holiday, you engage in sports and everything, because shule si tu kusoma, inaweza kutoa kila mtu, apart from academic excellence, inatoa watu wa sports field, inatoa kama sisi entertainers, you know. So moderation inakusaidia, but definitely naweza waambia wase, like, unasikiza your advisors and your mentors, like from your parents to your teachers and everything. Do the right thing at the right time and take life pole pole, and don't overthink stuff too much. Unajua, at the end of the day, there's a higher being looking out for all of us. So ukiishi maisha vile inafaa, vitu zitakwendea vile zinafaa.
Right. Jim, listen, when you read the tabloids, the only kind of information about your personal life is, you know, at some point you were taking care of a child for 2 years before you discovered that the child wasn't yours after a DNA test. Are you dating? Are you married? Do you have kids? What's going on?
Don't believe everything you read on the tabloids.
Right.
I put my private life aside, so pande ya kudate and everything, hiyo ni no-go zone, tu tuongelele mziki yangu.
Right. All right. Well, then for those who probably the ladies who are hoping to score, clearly that is closed for now, which is very unfortunate, but it's all right. Listen. What is it like to be around maybe possibly friends who take alcohol? I mean, your story is very, very unique in the sense that, you know, you've overcome addiction and drug abuse, and your story is very powerful.
I'd say you take one day at a time, because even for a recovering addict, the fact that I'm 5 years sober, sichukuliangi ni kama ni achievement or accomplishment. It's like you take one day at a time. Because addiction is like a sickness. And the bad thing about addiction is you start drinking like for fun, like I started after shows and before shows. Then unazoea, and with the pressures of the entertainment industry, it's different from easy industries ingine, like an office 9 to 5 and everything. Kila job ina pressure zake. As much as entertainment, una work on weekends or just for like 1 hour, ni different na the same pressures una get kwa 9 to 5. So naweza sema, from me, my side, nilikuwa na work on weekends. So the rest of the week I'm free. And free time can make you, it's like, you know, an idle mind is a devil's workshop. Free time itakufanya uengage na vitu hazikujengi. So unazoea kukunywa na habit is a disease. So kabla ifike kuwa a disease, you watch it. Like you can moderate it. If you don't drink, it's overrated. You don't have to drink. Like I'm hyper, you get, mutanap, hadi wasona go, mzee uliacha madre. But you know, you're just high on life. You know, as long as your life is all good, like I have my pressures and everything, but nakuwaga niko easy. So like for non-alcoholics, you don't have to drink, it's overrated. For those who drink, moderate. Muambia watu kunywa, si pombe ikukunywe. Karada acha kublanda. Kwa rhymes, nasemaga kutoa lock, ni kuweka padlock kwa future.
Right, that's incredible, Jim Watt. And at the moment, what is currently your message, especially when it comes to what you're currently working on in your music projects and your musical career?
Okay, my message right now is in line with what we're facing in life, the whole world around. It's health is better than wealth. So apart from kuhustle and everything, sai tumepewa time ya kureflect and kujicheck, and the same thing that has kept me going on, moderating. Like hata ukihustle unaabsorb zile vitu unafaa kufanya na zile vitu hufai kufanya, unajua kujaribu, cause yeah.
Fantastic. Jim Watt, I want you to sing for me a song. Perhaps you're working on something and you can give us a teaser. Or even something that you love the most out of all the work that you've done. Could you, sing something for us?
Yeah, I could freestyle something for you. Fantastic. But ndo niweze kwa hiyo zone, hiyo freestyle.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are having an online event, like a live performance. It will be tomorrow.
Yeah.
So kwa wale wajainiona live nikiperform, kesho watanipata nikiperform live performance indani.co.ke or 33beats KE on YouTube. And reason nimesema hiyo ni cause umeniambia ni freestyle, and ile freestyle tunawakia on, it's my next song with ule mse tuliroga naye mpaka che, pilipili mimi namuitaga chili. So this freestyle ni a song tuta perform for the first time live on indani.co.ke or on YouTube 33beats KE. Inajita Toto. So verse inaenda kituka moto moto umewaka vile mtoto amefika ameiva sister anakaka Lucy Raila kuviva na kaa kuna vile unaweza fanya na chile time ya winter nikikuita ukoshuta ni ipa joto shinda hita na time ya Thanksgiving na tutamanga taki utani thank nikikugive nikikutuliza taki ka fire nitakuwa shakaka nitakublaze usahau Simon Says from the heat Jim Watt says Toto nikikuona sister naona moto na naota ndoto nikiwa nawe mtoto tupatane kesho usiku indani.co.ke 33beats KE live performance. Jim Watt Pilipili Kenzo au sio au ndio genge.
Fantastic. Now, because our time is literally running out, I have a little game that I want us to play, and you have to do it in the quickest time possible. 10 seconds, first thing that comes into your mind, and let's have fun with this, right? And it's called Never Have I Ever. And so, first question, never have I ever had a fake ID?
Okay, uli break off hapo.
All right. The question is, the game is Never Have I Ever. And the first question is, never have I ever had a fake ID?
Never have I ever had a fake?
ID, identification card. Have you ever had a fake ID or have you not?
Fake ID?
Yes.
No, I've never had a fake ID. That's why nilishikwa na under 18.
Yes.
Because I didn't have a fake ID. And bado ikuishia hapo, nikaitishwa hongo. Na mnajua nilisemaga sitowi kitu kidogo. Unasema nini? Unajua uko na fake ID wewe kijana. Uko na mtoto mdogo unamnunulia shanga. Okay, that's the end of that question.
Yeah, that was really good. All right, last question. Never have I ever given a stranger a fake phone number.
Fake number?
Yes, fake phone number.
Fake number nimepeana mara mingi sana.
Jim Watt. Jamani, kwa nini vile?
No, but I didn't give you a fake number, Lucy Riley.
Yeah.
It depends, like
Yeah, absolutely, for sure.
Yeah, if you're a true fan, you'll get the true number.
Depends on who is asking the question, right?
No, but most Kenyans wanna support muziki yetu, so Wakenya wengi wakiitisha namba watapata.
So just finally, what should we expect from you moving on in the next couple of weeks, in the next couple of months? You know, you're still a really big name in this industry. Just as we close, real quick.
Yeah. I didn't get that last part.
What should we expect from you going forward in the next couple of months, musically?
I'm definitely working on my foundation. I share my story, my addiction and recovery journey, and I have a business partner. So it's not just Jim Watt Foundation, it's Jim Watt Solo Foundation. So we'll be working more on seeing with how we can work with the online thing to boost the knowledge about addiction and recovery. And apart from that, we are back in studio with my boy Pilipili Mbakache. Like the live performance ya kesho mtapata kusikia the new song.
Yes.
It's called Toto. Pilipili, Jim Watt aka Jim Wizi. Round hii tuko Mbakache na Toto.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Jim Watt. It's always a pleasure having you.
Shukran. Always a pleasure, always a pleasure.
Yeah, unfortunately our time is over right now, but of course you're always going to be having you in future. And I just want to cross over back to my friends and colleagues in Ghana. And I want to throw this question over to Kwesi. I mean, you've heard the performance just before we got started, and it was absolutely amazing. And I just want to know, Kwesi, what is the inspiration behind your music?
All right, so growing up as a young person, as a young art, I really looked up to a lot of artists at that time, like Amachide Dedan Numba, and then recently Akwabwa. These people really brought the high life music to bear, and someone like us can just tap into it. And actually, all of my songs really talks about love, so I can really also say that I draw inspiration from love too.
Right. Definitely. Perhaps I can hear from Acoustic. How has COVID-19 affected your music, especially in terms of the performances and the audiences, when it comes to reaching out to your audiences, both Kwesi and, of course, Acoustic?
Okay, so in terms of reaching out to audience, thanks to social media, we can link up with our fans through Instagram Live, Facebook Live, and all that. So in as much as we are in our homes, we don't let it affect us so much that we can't reach out to our audience. We make use of the social media and all that. And performances, there's been band of shows and all that. So, well, we take advantage of the virtual concerts, few virtual concerts around that we are on. And if we are not on any virtual concert too, we do our videos, we serve our fans with what we have. That's what it is.
COVID-19 has really brought a halt to everything in terms of music. But then next day, we can't say that we wouldn't work. So getting in touch with our fans is just as it's going to go digital into the internet and everything. So that is what we're doing. So I want to say, use this opportunity to also tell people to stay at home. If you have nothing to do in town, stay at home, wash your hands frequently, and then use alcohol hand-based sanitizers, to keep yourself safe, highly.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for that. And of course, every time I listen to Ghanaians and their accent and anyone from West Africa, I'm ready to go and jump on a plane and go. Of course, right now we can't do much traveling. But Kwesi Ishe, what projects are you currently working on during this COVID-19 period?
Currently, in last February, we've dropped Awara, the song we just sang. So we are working on its video. That is what we're doing. The focus now is on working on Awara's video, and we'll be dropping soon. So stay tuned. It'll be coming live.
All right, and finally, because my time is practically running out, this goes back to Acoustic. What are some opportunities one can do as an instrumentalist, seeing that you are a pianist and you play quite a number of instruments? What can one do to stay relevant and, get to work with big celebrities in the industry?
Okay, so as an instrumentalist, as an upcoming instrumentalist, I think you should make use of the social media now. Now, social media is everything. So post your stuff, work, post your stuff, stay indoors, work, post your stuff. Link up with any artist. I don't believe in big or small artists. Any artist who is good with his craft is a big artist. So link up with any artist you have and work together via the internet. merge your stuff, put it out there. You might not know who is watching. People are watching. You might be spotted. Yeah.
Absolutely amazing and incredible. Thank you so much for that. Of course, still to come is their newest release that is on February the 13th later on in the show. And it's time for me to take a very quick break. But when we come back, I've got with me Susumila, and Susumila is just all the way in the coastal area. He's bringing in some coastal flavor, from Ghana, and now we're crossing over to coast. You do not want to miss this, and don't touch that dial. Welcome back, and thank you so much for choosing to stay with me right here on FriDATE. And of course, I'm your host, Lucy Riley. In case you're just joining me tonight, I guarantee you've not missed too much, although we've been having a ton of fun. The hashtag is FriDATE, and we just crossed over from Ghana, and now we're going over for some coastal flavor. And I've got with me Susumila on Skype. And hi, how are you doing, Susumila? Mambo?
Mambo safi tu.
Salama. Uko wapi Susumila sahi? Uko Bombolulu, uko Nyali, kule Likoni, wapi?
Niko Kiembeni.
Kiembeni. Kuendeleaje kule? It's been quite a while. I miss the coast, and I'm sure, with this lockdown, you can't do as much moving around as you would do before, right?
Huku tuko sawa. Ile tu unajua pia Mombasa ni ndogo. So hatuwezi toka tukaenda output. Hatuwezi toka tukaenda Kilifi. So mimi ni hapa
Sawa. Susumila, kuna huu wimbo, there's this song which is by Dogo Charlie featuring Munaisa, which is kind of a sequel or a song after your song. It's called Sonona Corona. What's your take on it? I mean, he's having a lot of fun using your music and just making it a little bit more playful to spread a message of coronavirus. Waionaje?
Well, tuliongea tukaelewana, like revenue YouTube nachukua mimi, na sikiza tune pia tuna share, like nachukua 60 wao wanachukua 40. So kwa sababu ni pete yangu, ni copyright yangu, wao wamechukua tu wakafanya kama rendition, vitu kama hivyo. So tulielewana hivyo kwa fupi, na I think ni kitu kizuri as long as muziki unaenda mbali zaidi, kwa sababu unaona hapo ameandika corona, lakini bado ameandika jina langu. So I think yote ni anasongea na mimi nasongea.
Right, amazing. That's really, really commendable, especially kwa wasanii ambao they're just getting started and they really don't know how to get their footing. But you know, this is the date, and I'm going to ask you a little bit somewhat personal questions. You know, you grew up in a polygamous family, and I'm just wondering if you're looking at anytime soon getting wife number 3.
Number 3.
Ehe, na tunasema hapo wapi manake?
Tunaweza sema. Kwanza kidini haikatazwi. Dini ambayo mimi ni Muislamu.
Ndio.
Kisheria Kenya I think tumefika hapo kwamba president alisha sign kwa sheria kwamba mtu anaweza kuongeza. Alafu pia kimila inaniruhusu. So mimi mwenyewe tu niamue na pia niangalie uwezo wangu, kwa sababu ku maintain nayo pia inatakana unao uwezo. So kiingana nikipata mtu na feel anaweza ongeza, kwa nini nisifanye?
Susumila jamani. Kwa hivyo kama mimi nataka naweza tuma application alafu huenda
hata
Susumila, Ramadhani ya kupelekaje? Naona itakuwa Eid al-Fitr either Saturday ama Sunday. Are you ready? Are you excited? Ya kupelekaje?
Tunashukuru Mungu imetupeleka vizuri. This time kwanza imetupata mvua, yani like karibu mwezi mzima kumekuwa tu na mvua, so haijakuwa kali sana, kwa sababu unajua kukiwa na jua alafu ukiwa kuna shughuli nyingi za kutoka nini na kuwa nzito kidogo. But this time imetupata tuko majumbani, quarantine, vitu kama hivyo. So imekuwa vizuri, tuko excited, na ni kwamba toka nizaliwe nimekuwa tukisherehekea, lakini haijawahi kuwa kama vile ipo kwamba inatakana ile siku ya Eid watu waende wakasali Eid kama hivyo, watu utembeleana. Lakini this time hakuna vitu kama hivyo, serikali imekataa kwanza. Alafu pia sisi wenyewe kwa unajaribu kulinda jamii yako, watu waga wanaenda kutembelea wazee, wajomba, shangazi, vitu kama hivyo. Ama alikana majumbani kama mnasherehekea na vitu kama hivyo. So this time, yani for the first time katika ile maisha yangu itakuwa ni kwa nyumba tu. So tunajaribu kuangalia vile itakuwa.
Sawa basi Susumila. Nataka kuuliza some fun questions. You have to answer these questions in the shortest time possible. Do not think twice about it. The first thing that comes into your mind is the right answer. So are you ready?
I'm ready.
Hi, you sound very timid and scared, but oh well. Let's do this, Susumila. What's the weirdest thing a fan has ever done to you?
A fan?
Yes.
Kunipatia zawadi ile kitu ambacho ni cha bei ghali, ambapo sijawafikiria kitu kama hicho. Kwamba mtu anaweza akasema amekutunuku kwa sababu anapenda kazi yako, vitu kama hivyo akakupatia.
That's nice though.
Zawadi ambayo ni watu nyingi sana ile design kwamba wewe kila mtu anaweza fanya hiyo
kitu kama hicho. Haya sawa basi. If you are not a musician, what would you do? Kama usingekuwa msanii, ungefanya nini?
Lawyer. Tena mkali sana.
Ungekuwa nani?
Mkubwa. Sheria.
Law. Very interesting, very interesting. Sawa. Naona kama ungekuwa mkali kweli. Haya sawa. If you had a superpower, what would it be and why? If you had a superpower, what would it be and why?
Sema ningekuwa na power za kufanya nisizeke, yani. Unajua miaka inaenda na zeka. Ningetaka tu kwa kijana milele.
Susumila wewe. Haya sawa basi. What's the favorite of all the songs you've been able to create? Ni gani ile ambayo inakupa raha sana, uipenda sana?
Ngoma Itambaye. I think ikirekodiwa tulia fun sana. Na to me I think it's the biggest song ambayo nishawaifanya katika maisha yangu.
Hebu tuimbie kidogo, manake mimi pia nilikuwa naipenda mwanzo nilipokuwa naenda kule pwani kule. Hebu niimbie.
Wacha ngoma itambaye, wakibando wanabandika kule. Wacha ngoma itambaye.
Amazing, amazing, Susumila. Hey, what should we expect from you in the near future? Nini ambacho labda you're creating in terms of music and as an artist? Are you reinventing yourself and how?
Well, naweza sema tu ni kuendeleza kwa sababu this year tulikuwa tumepanga kwamba ni kujaribu ku cross border, so kuna kazi yote tunafanya na Omi, na kazi nafanya na Nandi, so naweza sema tu I'm going hard huko nje, like outside the border kitu kama hivyo, so I think hiyo ndio kitu ambacho ipo kwa sasa tunaendeleza.
Aya, shukran sana. Nashukuru kwa muda wako na wakati wako. Unfortunately, time yetu imeshaisha. It's been very short and sweet. Lakini, definitely after COVID-19 ikiisha, tunatarajia kwamba tutakuwa na wewe. We'll actually have you in studio and probably we'll throw a party, right? Aya, shukran sana. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for me to take a very short break. But when I come back, I've got a couple. Welcome back and thank you so much for choosing to stay with me right here on FriDATE. Remember, if you're just joining me right now, well, I'm glad you could join me, and the hashtag is FriDATE, and you can always tweet me on @TV47KE or @Lucy_Riley. And so right now we're going into a very exciting segment where we talk to a couple, and they've been doing this for quite a while. I mean, they've been together for over 6 years. And if you don't know who I'm already talking about, he's a DJ and his wife is a designer. That's DJ Krober and Wanjiru Karumba. Good evening. How are you guys doing?
Mazima sana, tunaendelea fresh.
Ai, shukran sana kwa kukubali kukuja. Ndio.
Yeah.
Watoto wanaendeleaje?
It's exciting for us, you know.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, we haven't done an interview in a while, so we're like, this is exciting. Let's do this.
That's such a pleasure. And how is the little one, the youngest one, your son, Imani, anaendeleaje?
Yeah. Imani is doing well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Growing so fast.
Yes.
By his sisters. And we're grateful.
Fantastic. Listen, you guys met at, DJ Krober, you met your wifey at Nairobi Lighthouse Church. How was it? Yes.
I see you did your research. This is very impressive. Wow.
Fantastic. So how was it like, meeting her for the very first time? And even yourself, Wanjiru, how was that like? Was it love at first sight?
Yes. So let me tell you the funny story. The funny story is this. So I was just a new believer. And I had just gotten saved, and so I was volunteering in church in the sound team. So when I was there volunteering, doing my stuff and stuff, so I saw this girl wiping seats.
Yeah.
So I saw this girl wiping seats, nini anasafisha vitu pale 1-2-1-2-1-2. And so I asked my mentor, so who's that chick over there? And then he told me, hey, guy, go and introduce yourself. Don't keep asking me questions like this. So I don't like being dared. Right there and then I gathered my courage, went, introduced myself to Joy, and I said, hi, my name is Karosh, what's your name? At that point she had a different name, alikuwa anajitanga Missy, kama Missy Elliott. Missy Elliott. So out of that, that's how we met. So at that point we were both 19, just fresh from high school, and from there we became friends, and then like not 4 years, 6 years later we got married. Yes.
How did you feel about that, Mrs. Karumba? How did you actually feel about that? Him coming up to you, trying to introduce himself to you?
It was interesting.
Mm-hmm. No, it was exciting, babe. It was
Karosh
exciting.
is that guy. He's charming, and he's full of excitement. He's full of joy. So when he came and said hi, I was like, okay, who is this guy? But it was not love at first sight.
Guy.
Wow, that's an ouch right there.
I was not loved immediately.
I was busy serving
All right, listen, a quick one, yeah. What would the older couple, you guys right now, tell the younger version of yourselves, if you could meet the two of those people? What would you tell each other about this journey of being in a relationship and meeting spotting your perfect mate?
That's a very good question. I would say invest time in it. Yeah. That's what I would tell my younger self. Yani, spare time, give the girl the time. That is what I would tell my younger self.
Wow.
Yes. You?
It gets better. It gets better.
I told you. Nilikwambia nikikuoa it gets better. Baby, I told you. Nilikwambia this thing will work.
Don't be in a rush to make things work.
Wow.
Just grow with time. There's nothing like perfect partner. We are all imperfect people. So you must be ready to love the other person with their own flaws, and them loving you with your own flaws. So it's a journey of two imperfect people.
Right. Amazing. This is very incredible. And during this time of COVID-19, and you're living together, and even partners are staying and seeing more of each other, it's very easy to get irritated and I hope there's a ding sound and annoyed by your partner. But how are you able to stay sane and just remind yourselves that you are in love and you are together in this journey of being in a relationship together? And how are you really able to stay sane during this time?
Well, Lucy, fortunately, I can say for us is the kind of careers we are in. We don't have 9-to-5s. So we work a lot from home. So in the 9 years we've been married together, so we've been working from home. Unanishika. So kama ni kukosana, yani tumekosana mara mingi sana. Kama ni kupenda tumependana. So for us it's normal. The strange thing is now that we returned back to Kenya from South Africa is the kids going to school.
Interesting.
Yes. Even though we homeschooled them in South Africa, tulikuwa tumejiambia sasa wacha waende shule. And then all of a sudden shut down. Boom.
Oh my goodness. Listen, speaking about South Africa, right? How would you compare living in SA and Kenya? Would you go back and live there?
Kenya 100%. Personally for me, Kenya is 100%.
Do you agree, Wanjiru? Maybe she has a different opinion.
Your perspective.
When we landed in SA, the excitement of being in a new country, Cape Town is breathtaking.
Yes.
But we knew from the word go, we are not going to stay here more than 3 years. After we are done with the studies, we are coming back home. You see, for you to live in another country, there must, you must have that grace. And we at that point,
the grace, yeah.
Extend our period. So we knew at the end of the day we are coming back home, and we were so excited.
Right.
We had the last year we had a calendar. We used to mark every day.
Countdown. Literally. By the way, we're not joking.
From January.
We were like, January is done.
All right. With this,
we used to count that backwards.
Right, with this calendar, guys. Yeah, and I'm sure it's been amazing. But 6 years together. What is it that's keeping you together? Oh, 9 years. Oh, I was gonna say over 6 years.
September 3rd.
Right, okay, right. 9 years together now and still counting, and possibly plus, right? Definitely plus. What is it that's keeping you together? What do you think is the bond that really seals that relationship and makes it gel and marry and make it that long-term relationship?
That is a very good question. What I would say between me and Joy, and the right word, in fact, inatukanga vizuri sana ni Kiswahili, kuzoeana. Yani kufikia place yenye hatuzoeani. Yani kuna hiyo mutual respect between one another. Normal etiquette with life. Please, thank you. Yani, regardless of how much she's my wife, I don't want to get used to that.
Right.
Unaanza kuzoea mtu. It's very easy for you to disrespect them. So the biggest challenge that, and this is mental, it's kuavoidia kuzoeana. That is the biggest challenge. And that is what in my perspective, I don't know what my wife would say on this, but in my perspective, that is the biggest.
That is the biggest thing, right? And before I get your wife's perspective, Wanjiru, because our time is literally sifting away, I want to ask you. No. I'm going to ask her some questions about you. So now we're getting into this quiz section. How well do you know your spouse? And these questions are going to Wanjiru first. All right, real quick, top of your head, 10 seconds or less. Whatever comes to your head first is the right answer.
Okay.
Right. So Wanjiru, what is your spouse's favorite meal?
Ugali.
Ugali with what?
Ugali matumbo, ugali mayai, ugali with anything.
Yeah. Okay, fine. What about DJ Krober? What's your spouse's favorite meal?
My wife loves bread and chapati. She loves things that have wheat. She loves wheat cakes. You name it. Anything that has wheat wins her heart.
Yeah. All right, fine. Which one of you is always late? Which one of you is always late? You can just point the finger. No one is going to see.
Hey, please tell the country. The country is watching.
It's definitely Wanjiru. It's definitely Wanjiru, isn't it? Ain't it? Mm-hmm. It's okay, fine. Who makes better food? Fantastic. Definitely Mama makes better food, right? All right, spouse's favorite color. So what is each other's favorite color? Let's start with you, Wanjiru. What is DJ Krober's favorite color?
Red, blue, brown.
Oh, those are several colors. Which one is the best one?
Red.
Is that true, DJ Krober? Don't worry, nobody's listening.
True, yes.
Fantastic.
Joy earth colors. You see very flowery. You can see. These are colors, green. You can tell by the tone. Even her stuff.
Okay, Krober, which one of you is which one of you is a freak when it comes to cleaning?
What do you think? I'm a clean freak. Right. That is true. That is very true.
All right. Well, it's such a pleasure watching you guys, and you just get sucked into this bubble of joy and happiness. And what's your message for a young couple that's just getting started? Perhaps they're, just in the early stages of their relationship, or they're somewhere in the middle, or they're thinking of getting married and settling in together. What's your message to them?
Marriage is a journey of two. I will repeat, it's a journey of two imperfect people. Love each other with your flaws and forgive quickly. and support each other.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Good. DJ Krober.
Yeah. Oh, my advice?
Yes.
Oh, be patient. Patience is the key to make this thing work. It's if you're not patient, I don't know how you would maneuver this. You have to be gracious. You have to be slow to some things. You have to think twice. Patience is the key.
Right. Fantastic. Thank you so much. You're such an amazing couple. And of course, we look forward to more and more of such experiences with you. That's all the time I had with you for this evening. And thank you so much for joining me at home. Of course, I've been your host, Lucy Riley. And right now, as I close the show, we're going to cross over back to Ghana for their final performance, which I promised you. That's from Kwesi Ishe and Acoustic for their single that they released in February. And then immediately after that, we've got Marcus Garvey with his amazing Club 47 experience. Thank you so much to the team that put this show together. That's Abubakar Abdullahi, of course, Collins Binge. We've got everybody in graphics team, Caleb, Emmanuel. Thank you so much for making this a success. Thank you for watching. Enjoy your Friday. Tomorrow is Bomba Lasana. Trust me. You don't want to miss that because it's going to be a ball. Enjoy this from wherever you're going to be watching. Have a good evening. I've been your host, Lucy Riley.